everyone, I'm Trish. If you've been following along my blog, you know that about 6 weeks ago I was selected to be a Chicago Cutlery Design Pro Knife Ambassador, and it's just been a really wonderful experience. I was actually needing new knives, and so I just jumped on the opportunity because after looking around, I really had no idea what to pick, and this just seemed like a really wonderful opportunity. What I want to talk about is this 3¼ inch pear knife. This is a knife that I use literally every morning and probably several times throughout the day. You can see right here, this is the laser etched dots right here, and this is what tells you where to put your grip. So you put your fingers right there, your thumb and your forefinger, and that really helps you know where you're going to get your best grip. They have, this knife has the Japanese steel blades, so it's very sharp. You're going to notice it as soon as you start cutting into your fruit or vegetables that this is like very, very sharp. So let's go ahead. I use this in the mornings, like when I'm prepping Reese's fruit for school. You can see how easily it just slices through the strawberries, no problem. The pear knife is really ideal for smaller fruits and vegetables that you don't need like your gigantic chef knife for. You know, this is perfect for strawberries, apples, that type of stuff that you're just cutting up. A lot of things that I cut in my hand, I use the pear knife for. When I was making the plum jam, this was like my go-to knife, and it saved a lot of time. So that's the pear knife. Okay, so the next knife I want to talk about is the 5-inch utility Design Pro knife. And this knife, honestly, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I didn't use it for the first few weeks because I was like, just, you know, mesmerized by my chef knife over here. And I was using it for everything. And lately, like the last month or so, this has become really a very essential knife to me in the kitchen. One of my favorite things to use it for is our tomatoes. We have many tomato plants, and I have them on salads almost every single day. This knife is like a dream come true for tomatoes. It slices them just perfectly. I mean, there's no resistance. You're not like smushing the tomato. I mean, you can see how beautifully it just slices right through it. It makes the prep work of a salad just easy. This is also the knife that I am using on bread now, like particularly like for baguettes. Just last night we had spaghetti, and this is like the knife that I use to just cut through it, and it makes it go so easily without, you know, smushing your bread or anything like that, because the blades are so sharp on these knives. It's just, it makes, you're not doing the work. The blade is doing the work for you, and that's really how a knife should work. Perfect for cutting through, you know, your avocado. It's just like the right size. It's the right size. So that's what this knife, I'm finding a lot of use for this one. Okay, so next up, let's talk about my baby. This is the 8-inch chef knife. I use this for everything. I mean, like so much stuff. One thing I want to point out, aside from the fact for a knife, when you have a knife that's this big, an 8-inch knife, make sure that you have a cutting board that will work with this knife. If you're trying to sit there and do your dicing and chopping with a knife like this on a small cutting board, it will not be successful. So, okay, so let's do the onion. Let's do the green onions first. Okay, so green onions, anything like this, anytime you have like a small vegetable that you're going to be cutting, like if you've cut up garlic or something like that, this is the knife. Okay, you can see, hopefully you can see without that red onion there, how easily it just cuts through. You know how if you have a dull knife and you're cutting green onions, and the very bottom row, they're all like stuck together because the knife actually didn't slice through the onion? Not so with this. I mean, you can see they're all just perfectly chopped. So that's an ideal use for this. Now, clear this out here. Okay, now let's do like a red onion, like any large onion. Any large vegetable is what you're going to be wanting to use this chef knife for, meat, stuff like that. This is what this knife is really ideal for. It has so much control with knowing where to put your fingers. You've got the grip, and so you can really feel like the power when you're using the chef knife. It's really an amazing knife. Okay, so one thing that I have learned is how to properly dice an onion. Okay, so cut it in half, cut off the end that's not the root. The root is the part that's actually going to keep the onion together when you're dicing it. So you're going to peel off the outer layer of the skin. Okay, so now that we have the red onion peeled, we're ready to go ahead and cut it. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slice it crossways this way, and then we're going to slice it down here. And it's really going to make it so that it comes out to a nice, beautiful little dice. And you really want to let the blade work for you. I like to start right up here at the top, closer to my handle, and just slide it through so that the knife is really doing the work for me. And again, be very careful with your finger placement. And as you get closer to the top, you want to really watch it. So now we're going to slice through the top. And again, you can make this as large or small as you want, as many cuts as you want. And now we're just going to slice the onion. And you can see what a beautiful dice it makes. And I'm not having to apply any pressure. The knife just slices straight through. I'm sure if you've tried this little trick with a dull knife, your onion just smushes out because you're having to apply so much pressure. Because the knife blade is so sharp, it makes this process really, really simple. And you can dice up a tremendous amount of onions very, very quickly. So that's a really wonderful way to use the 8-inch chef knife. Being an ambassador for Chicago Cutlery has been a really wonderful experience, and I've been absolutely thrilled with the performance of these knives. I would be hard-pressed to say which one of these is my favorite because I use them all so much. In fact, these are pretty much the only 3 knives I use anymore. The rest of my knives are just kind of sitting, gathering dust at this point. It's been an amazing experience really learning which knives actually should be used for which foods, and it really does make a difference. And having a knife that is of this quality has really made a difference in my kitchen on a daily basis. It's so nice to be able to just effortlessly cut through, you know, onions and potatoes and chicken and whatever I'm preparing at that time. It's nice to know that my knife is up for the task. So I really highly recommend these knives. It's just been an amazing experience, and I will be caring for these like they're my little babies because I want them to last forever and ever. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about these knives and about what knives you should be using for what foods. So thank you for watching.